there, thrill seekers. That was a little bit of the song Fuzzy and Wild, originally by The Ventures. I did the opening riff of that song on a video, I don't know, last week or a week before, but now I've done the whole song and uploaded it with a nice video. All right, it's my birthday, and I am dressed up for my birthday, but I won't be able to keep these glasses on too long because I can't see very well out of them. So I thought I would do a little video about some of my favorite Zen sayings that have to do with birth, sort of. Okay, let me change glasses and finish this. So let's talk about a couple of my favorite Zen sayings that have to do with birth. There's a book called Shinji Shobogenzo. There's the book called Shinji Shobogenzo, and that means something like true letter Shobogenzo. Shinji sort of refers to Chinese characters, and in Japan they were thought of as like the true characters back in the Middle Ages. And so this is called Shinji Shobogenzo. This is Dogen's koan collection. So the story goes, and I don't believe this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway because it's out there, that the night before Dogen was supposed to go back to Japan after having lived in China for a few years, he stayed up all night copying down a bunch of his favorite old Zen stories, koans, from some collection or maybe from several collections, and that this is the result. Yeah, he probably copied them down, but probably not all in one night. And there was some controversy or controversy, for those of you watching from Great Britain, that said that this wasn't really Dogen's work, but I think these days it's been kind of confirmed that Dogen actually did compile this collection. And two of them have the same punchline, so I'm going to read them both to you, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, the first one appears, it's 3 books. I mean, it's one book, but it's considered to be 3 books inside of one. I don't know why. Book 1, koan number 4, goes like this. Ryo, the Zasu, or temple master on Mount Sei in the Ko district, one day became a disciple of Master Baso. Master Baso is a famous old Zen master. I believe Baso was the teacher of Hyakujo, and Hyakujo was the teacher of Huangpo, maybe? I never get these right. Somebody will correct me. Anyway, so he became a disciple of Baso. Master Baso said, "Which sutra do you lecture on?" And he was supposed to be a great lecturer on sutras. Ryo said, "The Heart Sutra." Master Baso said, "How do you lecture on it?" Ryo said, "I lecture on it with my heart." That's heart and mind are the same character, so it's this translation says, "I lecture on it with my mind," but that doesn't make the joke doesn't work that way. Master Baso said, but we're gonna go back to translating it as mind for the rest of the koan, so that you'll see. Master Baso said, "Mind is the leading actor, will is a supporting player, and the 6 senses are the followers. So how can you lecture on the sutra?" Ryo said, "If it is impossible for mind to lecture on the sutra, then do you say that just empty space can lecture on it?" Master Baso said, "Even empty space can lecture on it." Ryo started to leave, swinging his wide sleeves as he went, which means he's saying, "Oh, I beat this guy. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about." Master Baso called out to him. Master Baso said, "Kansu." I'm not sure why he says kansu. Why does he say kansu?
Much later.
Doesn't say. In the commentary, it doesn't say at all. So, okay. Call it kansu. He might have said who knows? I don't know. Somebody tell me. That this isn't the point, so let's keep going. Ryo turned his head. Master Baso said, "From birth to death, it's just like this." That's the point. Master Ryo realized the truth and concealed himself on Mount Sei. Nobody knows what happened to him after that. That's the end of the story. And now, the other one that has the same punchline, it appears as koan number, 100 in Book 3. And it goes like this. When visiting Master Sekito Kisen, Master Go-e Reimoku asked, "If even a single word of yours is agreeable to me, I will stay here. If it is not agreeable, I will leave." Master Sekito did not respond at all. Master Reimoku left, swinging his long sleeves, again a gesture like, "Haha, I beat you." After going out, he arrived at the temple gate. The master called out to him, saying, "Acharya," which means monk, so at least I know why he said that. Master Reimoku turned his head. Master Sekito said, "From birth to death, it's just like this. Will you accomplish something by turning your head or by churning your brain?" There and then, Master Reimoku experienced the truth. And let's read the commentary on that one. Master Reimoku thought that Master Sekito could not answer him and started to leave, swinging his sleeves arrogantly. When he got to the gate, Master Sekito called to him, and Master Reimoku naturally turned his head. Master Sekito told him that reality is not concerned with intellectual jousting. It is far more simple and direct. He wanted Master Reimoku to notice that a simple action like turning his head is natural and real, but thoughts in our brain are just that, intellectual images. At these words, Master Reimoku recognized the real situation. So that whole thing, from birth to death, it's just like this. I first heard it from my first Zen teacher, Tim, back in, who knows, the 80s. And it really made an impression on me. From birth to death, it's just like this. And you know, sometimes words just work. And I didn't know what it meant, or I didn't have an explanation for it. I just thought, oh, from birth to death, it's just like this. So how I would explain it now would be that the now is the only real time there is. It's the only time when everything comes together and you are here and the world is here with you. This moment, as what's his name? Oh God, why can't I think of his name? Katagiri Roshi said, "This moment is the universe." So just this moment is the universe. That means that the past is unreal, the future is unreal. You've heard this a million times before from everybody who thinks they know a little bit about Buddhism, but it really is important. It's an important concept if you want to understand what Buddhism is about, especially if you want to understand what Zen Buddhism is about, because it's all about this very moment and how this very moment is the only reality there is. The only reality there is right here, right now, you watching this dumb video that I put together and going, what the hell is he talking about? That's the real. Everything else is unreal. All your past, all your future, all your memories, all your worries, all your fears, it's all just stuff going on in your head, but this moment is real. From birth to death, it's just like this. Another little Zen saying I like, having to do with birth, comes in Master Dogen's Shobogenzo Book 4 of the Nishijima Cross version. It's one of the undated pieces, and I did a whole doggone series about it. I believe I did it on the audio podcast, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go look it up, and I'm not going to go look it up. You go look it up. It's my birthday. I don't have to look anything up. The chapter in the Nishijima Cross version is numbered 91 and is called Yui Butsu Yobutsu, Buddhas alone together with Buddhas. I know where I put it now. It's in my book, what's my book called? The Other Side of Nothing. In The Other Side of Nothing, I did a whole section on just this little piece called Buddhas Alone Together with Buddhas. But the part I want to talk to you about now, which has to do with birth, goes like this. An ancient Buddha said, "Mountains, rivers, and the earth, and human beings are born together. The Buddhas of the 3 times and human beings have always practiced together. Thus, if we look at the mountains, rivers, and earth, while one human being is being born, We do not see this human being now appearing through isolated superimposition upon mountains, rivers, and earth that existed before this human being was born. Having said this, still the ancient words may not be devoid of further meaning. How should we understand them? Just because we have not understood them, we should not disregard them. We should resolve to understand them without fail. They are words that were actually preached, and so we should listen to them. Having listened to them, then we may be able to understand them. A way in which to understand them is as follows. Who is the person that is clarified by investigating this birth or this life? From the side of this human being being born, just what is from beginning to end. Let's read this over again because I stopped in the middle and made it weird. So you should understand it as follows. Who is the person that has clarified by investigating this birth from the side of this human being being born just what is from beginning to end this thing called birth? Ha! That's a weird sentence, but let's keep going. We do not know the end or the beginning, but we have been born. Neither indeed do we know the limits of mountains, rivers, and the earth, but we see them here, and at this place it is as if they are walking. Do not complain that mountains, rivers, and the earth are not comparable with birth. Illuminate mountains, rivers, and the earth as they have been described as utterly the same as our being born. So mountains, rivers, and the earth are utterly the same as our being born. So you don't have to go all ancient Chinese with it. That's kind of one of the barriers I think that comes up for a lot of people when they study this stuff is mountains, rivers, and the earth. That's not the way we talk these days. It's the couch, the dog who's barking, and the bookshelf. They are the same as my being born. Everything that surrounds me is me, and everything that surrounds you is you. It's projected from you and appears to be outside when actually it's not outside at all. It's all within you. Yeah, that's weird. But if you want to take it another way, maybe a slightly easier way to put it, when he says that we don't see this human being superimposed upon mountains, rivers, and the earth that were already there, well, you can look at it this way. There's nothing in my body that wasn't here on this earth for the past 4 billion years. Maybe there's a few little elements here and there that have come on meteors 1 million years ago or 60 million years ago or something. So maybe it doesn't all go back to the very beginning. But pretty much 100% of what I am has always been here. In fact, everything I am has always been part of this universe since forever, since from whenever it was started, if it was started at all. It's all here. It all just gets changed around. The leap that the Buddhists make, that's the kind of the hard one for Westerners to get their heads around sometimes, is that what we call consciousness or mind is included within that. So, Ziggy, can you let me finish my video? He's probably barking because he doesn't understand why I'm talking to nobody in here. Ziggy, I do this all the time. Ziggy was here too. So, mind is also part of the everything that was here since time immemorial and probably transcends time. Time exists within mind. Time, in Dogen's point of view, is the self arrays itself and observes itself, and that is what we call time. He says something like that in Uji, Being Time, his famous essay. So, Ziggy, come here. I don't know what the hell he's barking at. Ziggy.
A few moments later.
All right, I went and talked to Ziggy, and I videoed a little bit of it, and I'll put that at the end for his little cameo that I always do. I don't know if I've shut him up or talked him out or whatever he was barking at. Anyway, all of the elements that made me were here before I was born. And after I die, they won't go anywhere. And as I said, the leap that Buddhists make that sometimes Westerners have a hard time with is that this includes what we call mind. So it's all part of what is the universe. If you ask Huang Po, he says the entire universe is mind. And we could talk about mind-only Buddhism and that kind of stuff, and it gets really convoluted and difficult, but I don't want to do that because it's my birthday and I'm feeling lazy. But these two quotes are ones that often come up whenever it's my birthday. I think about birth and whether I was even born. If you look at Nisargadatta Maharaj, who is, as I always say when I bring him up, not a Buddhist, he likes to put it that we were never born. And you sometimes find that in Dogen's, well, I don't know if you find it specifically in Dogen, I'd have to go look it up, but you find it in Buddhist and Zen writings sometimes, this idea that there is no birth. Well, that is in the Heart Sutra, no birth, no death. So what we think of as birth and death are moments, they're occurrences, they're things that happen, but they may not be what we think they are. How about we put it like that? Yeah, there you go. I don't know. It's my birthday, and I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to leave that as my little talk today, and I hope it was at least entertaining. From birth to death, it's just like this. Okay, if you want to donate to me saying more stuff about, or if you want to donate a birthday present, you don't have to. You can go to the URL that you're about to see on the screen right now, or you're about to hear if you're listening to the audio version, which is hardcorezen.info/donate. That is hardcorezen.info/donate. That's where you'll find my PayPal and Patreon accounts. Those are my main and usually my only ways of making a living, and I appreciate your support. But as always, you don't got to support me if you don't want to, and if you don't want to send a birthday present, that was just a joke, and you don't got to send one. All right, we will see you next time. Have a good time all the time. Bye. Ziggy, what are you barking at? Huh? Is there something bothering you over here? Is there something you're barking at? Because I had to stop the video to go talk to you while you're barking. All right, well, I'll put this on the end of the video so people can see you in your barking at nothing in particular mode.